everybody, I'm the Lawful Evil DM and welcome to my very first devilish video. What can you expect from this channel? Let me answer this question with another one. Have you ever felt like you love DMing but you're always struggling to give a proper challenge to your player? Or maybe your fight don't really create panic or stress around your gaming table? Are you looking for a hard fight to throw at your player? A fight that will push their limit without putting insanely hard CR in front of them? Well, look no further, friend. Sit back, relax, and enjoy. Here's how it's gonna go. First, I will introduce the monsters, what are their strengths and their possible strategy when they are outside of a setup. So, if you want to change the location of said monster, you will be able to do it with the knowledge in the first part of this video. Then, I will put my cute little minion in a setup, which will often include location, time element, traps, and more. To top it off, I would suggest some basic music or sound to really help with the immersion. By the way, I'm using Syrinscape for the audio just now, so make sure you check their website. It's an awesome product that will help you step up your game. Alright, now that the introduction is done, let's dive in the first part of the video. The monster, a wormling red dragon that you can find on page 98 of your 5th edition monster manual, and the magma mephit that you can find on page 216. I've chosen the red dragon for multiple reasons. First, red dragon are emblem of D&D since, well, ever. Unfortunately, they are often misplayed by DMs. They are supposed to be powerful and cunning foe that will scare off even the more prepared group of adventurers. And well, DMs tend to play them as dumb lizard with a lot of attacks. Also, the wormling form of a red dragon is just a CR4, so you could give a great, almost epic encounter to a group of newbie-ish adventurer and set the tone for the adventure. Besides, this fight can help new player discover the magic of ready action. First up, keep in mind that even if the wormling is just a baby, it is very smart and will use literally anything that can help him during a fight. Here's the thing, as a DM, your job is to make it hard for the group to win fights. With that, you can't, I repeat, you can't let a dragon just fly to one of your players, hit him, and stay there, waiting to be hit to death. If you do that, the wormling won't hold more than a turn or two, and your player will be bored. You want them to be passionate. I would even accept frustrated, but bored, oh no. So, what is your arsenal of a baby dragon? First, it has a decent armor class of 17, decent HP and good saves. Of course, they are immune to fire, which we'll exploit later. Also, be aware that this baby has blend sight for 10 feet, so the rogue in your party might be able to surprise him from afar but not up close. But there's something that is often forgotten about them, a fly speed of 60 feet. Now, that by itself isn't a big deal, but all those conditions combined to the fire breath, well, you are in for a treat. Now, let's talk about the lair action. Firstly, I will warn you because it's not for every DM. I'm trying to keep these videos as close to the rule as possible, but sometimes it's not easy. See, lair action can only be taken by a legendary monster. Now, some would argue that a wormling red dragon is not a legendary monster. While I'll argue that dragons are, by definition, legendary, and the monster manual do not clearly say that lair action of dragon are age restricted. At the end of the day, if you use lair action for the fight, I would suggest using less magma mephit, while if you do not use lair action, just use more of them. Another option is to use only the disabling lair action and not the damaging one. It's your call at the end of the day. So, what are those lair action for Red Dragon? Well, at an initiative count of 20, the dragon can do 1. A geyser. That will deal 6d6 of fire damage versus a DC 15 of dex. He could also create an earthquake that will require a DC 15 of dex, or the player that failed would fall prone, which would really impair their move bank. The dragon can also create a poisonous cloud that will require a DC 13 of Constitution, or those who fail will become incapacitated for a round. Now you talk of a baby that can seriously pack a punch. Also, never forget as a DM that every creature you play can use the following action from the player handbook at the page 195. Grappling, yes. So this little fellow has a +4 on a grapple check. Now, let's say you are fighting it out of its lair on a bridge that is on top of a ravine for some reason. Round 1, the dragon might use its breath to target the player and the bridge at the same time, putting your player in some sort of a panique. After using its breath, he goes beneath the bridge, which will give him, let's say, 3/4 cover. With that, he would gain +5 AC and +5 to his dex saving throw. Round 2, if its breath is not back, he could grapple a PC and throw him or her into the ravine. After, he would go back under the bridge. That is not our design encounter for this video, but it shows nonetheless the cunning and power of our wormling red dragon. Please keep in mind that it would flee if fearing for its life. Alright, so the dragon part is mostly done. If you want some more in-depth analysis of this creature, just go in the comment section and tell me. Now the myth. You can find those little bugger at the page 216 of your monster manual. It is the perfect bodyguard for the dragon that is in its lair. While not moving in lava, it cannot be detected. How great is that to take care of the need of a baby dragon while mom is away. Those also have a very strong spell, Heat Metal. This spell is great because if a PC fail a DC 10 Constitution saving throw, he will have to drop his weapon. I will give you bonus point if you do it on a PC armor instead of his weapon. After all, taking off your armor can take quite some time. But it's not all. Those Mephit have a breath weapon that deals 2d6 fire damage against a DC 11 dexterity saving throw. And what happens when they die? They explode for the same damage. In short, they are there to A. Soften the party, and B. Giving to the player the feeling that it is a normal or easy fight. But there will be more on this later. It's with all of this in mind that we will go in the second part of this video, the setup. So, for those of you that are wondering, how did you create the visual of your video? Know that I'm using Visual Battle Map, which is a powerful battle map tool that you can find on Steam. So your group will come from the ceiling using an old yet sturdy ladder. Beforehand, they could have been in a regular dungeon or even trying to investigate an evil fire cult in a nearby city. Feel free to use this encounter with the story that fit your gaming table. But please have in mind that this encounter is designed to be the last of a series of encounters. In short, you do not want your player to be fully fresh. I also suggest to start the dungeon with it being a building in a lower class or in a very high class neighborhood of a big city. The more the player will advance in the building, the more it should switch to something looking like a cavern. You also want to hint that the temperature is rising from time to time. This will increase the mystery surrounding this seemingly empty room. Now to the room itself. There is some lava pool piercing the ground. The light is quite dim, the only source of light being lava. There is even a weird pipe that seemed to let the lava slowly flow into one of the pool. In the middle of the room there is a vast amount of gold and other valuable. At the other side of the room there is an immense cavern hole that seems to go below. Unfortunately, the angle is not good enough to see where it leads. What are the role-playing goals for the setup? First, greediness. Will they go there carelessly and try to pick up all the gold? Secondly, mystery. Why is there such a treasure here? Why would someone pump lava here? Where does the tunnel in the back leads? Thirdly, misleading. This must not be a boss fight if there is a way leading further. Maybe it's just a reward room or a medium encounter. If your player are inexperienced, they will just run into the trap and trigger the encounter. If your player are good, they might try to get the gold in some secure way, which would include Mage Hand or Unseen Servant. If your player are really good, one will try so and the other will do ready action to jump on the first monster they see. I suggest that you balance the encounter with the help of the DMG table, or, even easier, an encounter calculator. I will put a link in the description for you to use. This calculation will tell you how much monster is just right for the group. If you are not using layer action, try to find just the right point to make it a hard encounter. And if you're using layer action, try to stay in the medium range encounter. Trust me, it will be hard enough. And now to the fight. The first to act might be the Mythic. They have a ready action to attack anyone trying to get to the treasure, and nobody can detect them. So it should be a surprise for the player if they did not make ready action. Surprise round. The Mythic that are close will go for their breath and then move up close to the player. The Mythic that are far away will cast heat metal on any metal object they see, possibly disarming the fighter. Round 1. Players are not surprised anymore. They will start fighting back, and some explosion will occur. If the Mythic up close are not dead, they will cast heat metal. Those afar will move in and use their breath weapon. For dramatic effect, wait until the end of round 1, when everyone is done with their action. This is for good reason. Imagine that your group all made ready action. I'm fairly certain that at least one of them will say something along the line of, "If I see something getting out of the pipe, I shoot it." So when the Mythic pop out from the lava, your player will be distracted. What will they do? They will start to fight the Mythic and will not go for another ready action to target an empty space. And then he get out of the pipe. What seemed like an average fight just became a nightmare. A wormling red dragon is crawling from the pipe and he looked like he wants to fight. His flying speed allows him to go from there and reach almost any pocket of lava. So, for the first round, he swooped by, used his breath weapon and crawled into a lava pool. We are now at round 2. Any Mythic still alive will try to trigger the attack of opportunity from the group. There's 2 reasons for that. 1, it will make them explode if they die, and 2, it will cover the dragon. If you use layer action, I suggest you use the volcanic gas. It might incapacitate them. The dragon should then fly to one of your players, probably a caster with bad strength and dex, and simply grab them and fly to another lava pool. I would say that being thrown into a lava pool deal at least 66 of fire damage. Note that the dragon dropped the player and do not stay near him after dropping him, of course. The rest of the fight is straightforward. The dragon targets the most isolated player, hit him while flying near him, and go back into the lava. He uses layer action at every round and tries to use his breath as soon as possible. If he is about to die, he simply remains in the lava for a minute and try to either make a run for it or try a final surprising attack if the player don't go away. To be fair, he might suffocate after 17 rounds in the lava, so be careful. At the end, it is important to make them feel like something is coming. They might just have a few seconds to grab what they can. Why? Because Mommy is home, and she's mad. Personally, I initiated a skill challenge to flee from the mother to the exit of the dungeon, which is why it is important that this dungeon is hidden in a big city. It will prevent Mommy from killing them just now. She don't want to be discovered yet. Now, to the music. So, what music should you use for this encounter? The first option, it's really simple. Just use Syrinscape, grab the dragon fight, and you're pretty much done. But if you are on a more low budget, I would suggest that you use for the pre-fight a Baldur's Gate track called The Slum, because it has a mysterious, dangerous feel to it. I will put a link in the description. For the fight, I would suggest another Baldur's track from Baldur's Dark Alliance, called Ilivara, the Drow Priestess. On top of this, I would simply go to tabletopaudio.com and fetch the sound effect There Be Dragon. I guarantee that your player will have their jaw on the table. For the chase part, I'll go for Assassin's Creed Chase Team while increasing the There Be Dragon sound effect. So, how did my player react? Well, let's say they were afraid, but they succeeded at the end. This also gave me the opportunity to present an evil force in my game, while giving them a bittersweet feeling. They did win the fight, but they also waked up a great worm that will get its revenge. And there it is, everyone. Please feel free to type in the comment section how your player reacted to this encounter if you ran it. Also, since this is a new channel, I would love to hear constructive criticism. Also, if you have some idea for other series, feel free to share them. I do have plans for the future, but if you guys want to see some other aspect of the game, who am I to say no? Until next time. Yeah.